More than 15 months have passed since Celina got stolen, and now I'm back on the boat market looking for a new one. I have been recently in Alicante to have a look at a Kiri Feeling 446, and right now I'm here in Las Palmas to check out a Sunmagic 44. Yesterday evening I couldn't quite fall asleep, so I turned on the internet and I searched for boats. The entire morning I wrote emails with the representative, and a few hours later I stepped on board a Binder flight from Palma to Las Palmas. Talking of Binder, if you haven't tried them yet, you really have to go for it. They are absolutely worth it. I'm sitting here in the same harbor. We arrived on our boat trip some 3 years ago. Now, the price of this Sunmagic was so low that I had to come for a visit. Now let's see what she looks like. Good morning. This is day 2 here in Las Palmas. In this very harbor, every November the ARC is taking place. This is the Atlantic Rally for Cruises, and apparently it's always super full at this season. Well, for me, I have spent a nice evening and a lovely night in the hotel after I have been extensively visiting this very Sunmagic here in the harbor. This Sunmagic 44 is model 1990, and it actually differs quite a bit from my previous one, which was built in 1989. The interior itself was quite straightforward. I mean, I used to own one of those Sunmagics before. The big difference in this particular boat was the missing 4th berth, and instead it had actually a 3rd bathroom. The rest of the layout was pretty much the same, with 2 aft cabins and obviously the master cabin in the front. There were a few spots on the deck where the teak was already rotten, so she removed it and tried to fix it in a temporary manner as good as she could, but apparently it doesn't really look that nice. The engine was completely overhauled and the gearbox was brand new, or let's say at least some 2 or maybe 1 or 2 years old. And it really looked more or less new as well, compared to the gearbox I used to have on my very boat. The starter motor or the starter engine was looking good as well did the generator. They only had 2 batteries on board, which obviously is not sufficient. The general condition of the boat is somewhat, well, actually it comes with a lot of work, let's put it like this. However, she comes with very good sails, almost brand new. The previous owner didn't really sail it, but a spinnaker or cheneker is missing. Well, as I said, this boat comes obviously with a lot of work involved, but this was what I was actually looking for anyway. There are two important things which need to be fixed immediately. One of them is the rigging. It's original, which means it's about 34 years old. And there's an issue with the propeller. The asking price was 33,000 euros and I offered right now 30,000 euros straight away. If the owner accepts my offer, I want to come back for a second visit where I want to see the boat outside of the water. I need to see the hull properly. I need to see the rudder. I need to see the keel and everything else. I want to test ride the boat in terms of engine run, the gearbox obviously. I want to check the sails and afterwards I need to see a proper documentation about the boat as well. So this is it for me from Las Palmas. I'm heading back to Palma this afternoon and well, then I just have to sit tight and wait for the answer of the owner. A few weeks have passed since my offer for the Sand Magic in Las Palmas was turned down. Apparently it wasn't good enough, but it's probably to the better considering the state of the deck, which really needed a lot of attention. However, it seems that I have to be patient before my boat project starts for good. In the meantime, I still want to enjoy the sea to the fullest, and that's why I bought myself an inflatable kayak. With this kayak, I tried to circumnavigate the beautiful island of Mallorca. Well, of course not in one hit, since we're talking about a distance of about 350 kilometers. So let's see how far I can get. So the wind is picking up and the current is pushing me as well in the right direction. I already did some 8 kilometers in less than 2 hours, so the average speed is quite good. To be honest, I didn't really expect that. And I am more or less in the area of Palma Nova, and I'm thinking about continuing now towards the Bay of Calamago. I really miss that feeling. The wind, the waves, you don't hear anything, it's quite silent here and it's just fantastic really. Already passing the lighthouse, we're talking now almost 18 kilometers, which I already paddled this morning. The last 3 kilometers to El Toro were very intense. I had to face a very strong headwind and I was fighting against a strong current as well. That's why I was not able to film anymore on this sector. A few days later, and after an extensive bus ride, I started sector 2 where I last finished, in El Toro. I plan to paddle almost 18 kilometers all the way to St. Elm. The wind and the current are both pushing me again in the right direction and it's just fantastic. I'm just some, I don't know, maybe 3-4 kilometers short of Antrac, and then it's just a little jump over to St. Elm. Sector number 2 is finished. I'm in St. Elm, and behind me you can see this place becomes more and more popular amongst tourists. In summer this place is completely full. Good morning, welcome back. This is sector 3, starting from St. Elm, and I try to reach Soyer. However, this is about almost 40 kilometers. I think I have to stay somewhere overnight, and that's why I brought my sleeping bag. It's a fantastic weather again, and the water is quite flat. I do have a little bit of a tailwind, so it should be a fantastic tour all the way around to Soyer. By now I covered 85 kilometers, still a long way to go. On my last sector, however, the floor chamber exploded, and it's quite obvious that I need to fix this before I can continue. Stay tuned for more.